This is my FLStudio tutorial on chopping breaks in the Fruity Slicer. Right now I have the Amen sample loaded into the Fruity Slicer, and without any editing sounds like this. So what we're going to do is click on this area to bring it up in piano roll, Control A to select all the notes, delete to delete them because we're going to add our own notes. Just going to start off with something simple. If you'll notice, my note is a weird length, so I'm going to double click on it and raise it to 1. So now it's nice and even. I'm going to shorten that down. So now we have this basic loop. In this next part, we're going to focus on the channel settings. You can reach that by just clicking on this sample here, and it'll bring up the settings, and since it's a Fruity Slicer channel, it brings up the Fruity Slicer settings. We're going to mess with it a bit to make it sound a little bit better. We're going to play the drum loop while we're listening to it so that we can fine-tune stuff. So I'm going to raise the pitch a bit. Now it sounds a little bit more like a jungle track. Add some decay to the samples. And you can also mess with the time stretcher that's built into the Fruity Slicer to get some interesting sounds. But for this project, we're just going to have it with no time stretching. For this section, we're going to concentrate on some more advanced techniques of editing. We're going to use the loop that we created earlier to just sort of tweak it a bit and have some fun with it. A nice trick to learn is to use the chopper, and to do that we're going to select the note by pressing Control and clicking the note, or clicking and dragging the note, and pressing Alt-U to bring up the chopper menu. And here's where you select the resolution of the chopping, and we're going to have it pretty low but not too low. Press OK, and since this is already highlighted, you can click around wherever you'd like and it won't change the velocity of the other non-highlighted samples, but only the chops that we've highlighted. So I'm just going to right click and drag down to get it to have that little snare roll, and that makes it a little bit more interesting than just a regular snare. Other things you can use are this pull down menu here where it says velocity. You can change it to fine pitch and have some fun by, say, creating 2 snares in a row, and this is an old sort of jungle sort of trick, and you just sort of raise the pitch of the second one a little bit. And so yeah, there's lots of tools to use, stuff like quantize for if you have strangely placed samples. you can highlight them, and Alt Q will quantize them and make them regular, sort of well placed. You can also use plenty of groove templates if you're doing, say, a hat track and you'd like to add some swing to it. Some other tools that are useful: arpeggiate if you're doing a synth line. Flam is pretty fun. Let's try a little bit of that on this section here by highlighting it, going down. Flam. Alt F is the hotkey. It's really useful to memorize the hotkeys, so we're gonna Alt F and have it flam just a tiny bit. You can also have it more obvious, and various producers use that. One well-known one, Ronnie Size in the Breakbeat Era CD, does that on a track or two. Just a quick overview of the rest of the tools. Flipping is useful for if you're doing reversed stuff. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have multi-tracking by cloning this and cloning it one more time. This one we're going to reverse the more widely used samples in the break, so that we'll have a reverse track. Get rid of the decay so that we have the original hit of the sample on there. We're going to add a little bit more pitch shifting so that it's more obviously reversed. And what we're going to do is select all these, come over to the mixer, and right click on channel 1, select link selected channels starting from this track. So now you have the original, the reversed, and what we're going to do here is we're going to add a flanger. And then, since we're probably going to want some distortion just to beef up the track, we're going to use track 4 as our distortion send. You can press F2 and rename it the distortion send, and then add a little bit of distortion to that. And since it's easier to it's a lot easier on your CPU usage to just use one track for an effect that you're going to use over a lot of tracks. So what we're going to do is make all these tracks send over to this track by clicking on this arrow here, getting rid of the link back to the master and sending it to the distortion track, which has a link back to the master. So now we're going to go into the playlist, add our loop, and what we're going to do here is we're going to select the regions that we're going to want reversed. Let's add a bit more so that we have more variety.